It looks like one of the first Ryzen laptops will be a gaming laptop. Then we have an interview with AMD, some backpedaling on Xbox Scorpio, and I'm doing another giveaway. So stay tuned. Welcome back to GamerMeld. ASUS is pretty well known for their ROG line of laptops, monitors, and everything gaming. It looks like the Republic of Gamers has done it again. This time, they're teasing what's set to be one of the first Ryzen-powered laptops. In the teaser trailer, it simply surrounds the new laptop with the Ryzen logo and, quote, "Something has awakened." I bet this will either be one of the new Ryzen and Vega APUs or possibly a Ryzen CPU with a discrete Vega card. It'll almost certainly be announced at Computex, so it's pretty clear AMD is planning to make a big appearance this year in all shapes and sizes. Next up, while staying on AMD news, we have a pretty great interview over at Forbes with Ryzen's product manager James Pryor and head of AMD's global technical marketing Robert Halleck. They asked quite a few questions, but I'll just go over some of the more important ones. First is memory support. I've read it a couple times in the past, but it still seems to be true that Samsung's BDI memory kits are the most supported by Ryzen. Apparently, it mostly has to do with timings not working with Ryzen's memory controller on mostly Hynix memory kits. Either way, some Hynix-based kits do work, but it would certainly seem Samsung's BDI is your best bet at the moment. It looks like they're also going straight to memory manufacturers to give suggestions for future modules and working to increase compatibility on their end. So that's certainly a great thing to hear. When asked about games, Robert mentioned that they continue to get with game developers every week to work on compatibility and speeding up games running off Ryzen. He even made the statement that he's seen the 1700X go toe-to-toe with the 7700K, which was, quote, faster at launch. The next thing mentioned are mini ITX boards. As I've discussed, only such boards so far come from BioStar, but Mr. Pryor seemed confident other manufacturers will have samples ready in the next month or two, so if you're not really into BioStar, you probably won't have to wait much longer. The last part of the interview had to do with Ryzen 3, and Mr. Pryor could unfortunately only give us Q3, but I will say that's better than the fourth quarter. Either way, it's basically possible to launch anytime after June. The next bit of news for today has us moving over to the Xbox Scorpio. Mike Ybarra has officially stated that the Xbox Scorpio will not be limited to the same frame rate as the Xbox One and Xbox One S. This is actually quite different from almost exactly a year ago, as Microsoft was asked specifically in a Game Informer interview as to whether or not the Scorpio would have different frame rates to their other consoles, and the Microsoft spokesman said no. Well, we're now hearing a very different tune. To take it a step further, a user on Twitter even referenced to multiplayer differences, and apparently Microsoft will have zero issues with developers having two very different frame rates, even in competitive multiplayer. Now, obviously this is their choice, so many game developers will probably have parity among them, but I don't know, really I think it could be a good thing or a bad thing. It's mostly subjective in this case. For those who planned on getting the Scorpio, rejoice. For those who weren't, with it just being a resolution box, you may be forced to reconsider. And lastly for today, while that ends the traditional news segments, I have some exciting channel-related news I'm really excited to talk about. I'm doing another giveaway. This time, it'll be a little different though. I've actually been testing out a new mechanical keyboard Aki sent me, and definitely look for that review soon, but I figured I'd give it away. It's a brown switch, full RGB keyboard that definitely looks pretty great. I'm not going to make it super complicated. All you have to do is visit the link below and make sure you're subscribed. There aren't a ton of ways to get entries. You just subscribe to enter, and for a few more entries, you can follow me on Twitter. As long as it can stay under $50, I'm completely fine to ship it to you. I don't really want to spend, the value of the keyboard itself just in shipment costs. So I can't really go much higher than that. Really, I can't afford much more than that. Not $300 or anything like that. But just keep in mind that I am in the US, obviously all of the US, and quite a bit of other parts as well. So make sure to follow that link in the description for your chance to win. Before I go, what did you think of today's news? Excited the Scorpio can more utilize its power besides fidelity differences, or are you not too happy about the change? And what about the first Ryzen powered laptop? Let me know in the comments below.
That does it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the round icon in the middle. You can check out the most recent video and suggested video to the left. Thanks so much for coming, and as always, have a great day.